guys, welcome back. Hopefully you guys had an amazing spring break and it's finally coming to an end, back to our regular work week, but it was great to have a break. So let's jump into the word. Today we'll be going to the book of Joshua. I love Joshua because in there, all over the book of Joshua, he's constantly telling you to be strong and courageous. I think that's just like so amazing. So we're going to go to 1 and 9. And it says, "Have I not commanded you, be strong and courageous, do not be afraid, and do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." That one is like, I remember when I used to take, well, I still to this day, sometimes I take my kids to school, I keep saying it to them. And now that they're at the point where they can like tell me that scripture back. So that's pretty cool to me. Hey guys, so I don't know if you remember from my last episode, we brought out our aprons last week, so make sure you jump on to KinleySoulFood.com and order one of your custom-made aprons that was actually made and tailored. Local artist named Sheena. So make sure you go there and check it out. Within the next couple of weeks, we'll have different designs. And not only that, we have more items to add to our merch. So make sure you stay tuned to that. So let's get started cooking today. Our menu for today is kind of like a Bayou theme because everybody knows I love New Orleans food. And usually from spring to fall is usually when I bring out my New Orleans theme dishes. So everybody loves our po' boys and they love our Cajun pasta. So today we're going to kind of do a this and that type of meal. So we're going to have a shrimp Cajun pasta and we're going to have a shrimp po' boy with the Kinley's sauce on the side, on the top of it, not the side. So let's get started, guys. So we're going to go over our ingredients. We have our noodles, so we're going to use panini noodles for our pasta. We got our pasta water going over there. For our sauce for our pasta, we're going to use some heavy whipping cream, some butter, a little garlic, some mozzarella cheese, and some Parmesan cheese mixed in it, some fresh parsley, and tomatoes, and we got our diced red peppers, and we have onions. Of course, we got our main thing is the shrimp. For our po' boys, we're going to fry some shrimp too, so we're going to use some of that. We have our tomatoes, we have our lettuce, and this Parmesan cheese is just going to be a garnish for the top of the pasta. And you know, I always use like a typical shrimp fry. And then you have your lettuce for your po' boy. Well, we're not in New Orleans, so we don't have that amazing French bread, but go to your local baker and they will bake you some. Or you can get it, you can order it, or they have some there for you. Bakery. Your local bakery, I'm sorry. And here's our French bread in our skillet. We're going to use the fryer for our shrimp, and we're going to use our sauteed pan for our sauce and our pasta. So let's get started. Alright guys, so our pasta water is boiling, and you know I always season my water with salt, and I always use like a chicken broth or whatever you have, season it to your taste. This usually calls for like, I'm so used to cooking like big portions, I really don't know how to make small portions, but the recipe calls for a cup of these noodles, and I think in this box it is, we don't say cup, how many cups, so we'll say probably about 3 cups. But I'm going to use the whole box because I don't think I'm going to need it, so we're going to use 2 cups. Alright, so make sure you stir your noodles. And you're only going to let that cook for like 7 minutes because you just want it to get al dente. You don't want soggy noodles. You know. So let's turn our fire on to medium heat. And let's do sauteed our vegetables. I usually I use a lot of butter. I love butter. Sorry guys. But you can use whatever you want. You don't have to use as much as me. But I use a lot of butter. It just gives you so much flavor. So let's say we use a teaspoon. Alright guys, so we got our butter all melted and hot. So we're gonna our mirepoix is what this is called. And that is just basically the things that you cook with. And everybody's mirepoix is different. It's typically onions, celery, carrots, yeah, those things are usually what it is. But for mine, it changes with my dish, and it also, but I have like 3 that I normally use, and that will most likely be bell peppers, onions, and salad. Period. Don't need all that other stuff. So that's considered my mirepoix. So what you want to do is saute these down a little bit. We'll put some garlic paste in it. And then we'll put our shrimp in there. You can kind of do it all together, but I'll put my shrimp in there last because it takes the least amount of time to cook. And you don't want to overdo it. Your onions and your red peppers need to soften up a little bit because you don't want to keep like hard onions and peppers in your meat. So I'll put my garlic and my shrimp in last for that reason. So all you're gonna do is just brown it, and then you'll start adding your other ingredients. Alright guys, so we're gonna let this brown just a little bit more, and then we're gonna start adding our garlic and tomatoes and shrimp inside there. But while we're letting it brown, we're gonna season our shrimp. And Tony's. I'm really not a big Old Bay person, but we're gonna put a little bit on there. Not a lot. I think Tony's. I don't even know when I tell you I don't use it. I always open it up. I think Tony's just gets you to the point, but I'm not really big on mixing a lot of seasonings and stuff. Find one that works for you and let's stick with it. That's how I feel. So we're gonna make our shrimp po' boys as well, but we gotta put our put some shrimp inside of here. So you can use about 20 shrimp. And whatever size you chose to use is fine. I just got these because I knew I had to make po' boys as well. And I just wanted to make sure they were big enough to use for my po' boys in this. And we're gonna put our tomatoes in there. We're gonna put a little bit of the garlic. And like I said, I usually put my garlic last because it burns really fast and I don't like it to burn. And then I have some fresh parsley that I'm putting in there as well. Woo! And my pasta is boiling everywhere here. Alright, so you see how when the shrimp come in here, they're just coming all together. Shrimp, you don't want to overcook them. So it only takes, I don't know, maybe 7 minutes. But get them a little brown, but not too brown. But all your flavors, your mirepoix, is all just, it smells really good. Like, I don't know if it's the garlic or if it's the tomatoes or the onions. It's not the shrimp, but it smells really good. So we're gonna let this brown just a little bit more and then we'll get started. Alright guys, so come on over and look inside my pot so you can see how my shrimp and my mirepoix is coming together. And we're gonna start adding the heavy creamer to let it thicken up. And then we're gonna add cheese. It's gonna be really good. So this is how they make their fancy little sauces when you go to those fancy restaurants. But you can do it yourself. Just get some heavy creamer. Yeah, some heavy whipping creamer. And just add it, and it's gonna thicken up and be amazing. So, pour some in here. We're gonna let it simmer a little bit, but once it simmers and it starts coming back up to like a bowl, then we'll start adding the cheese in there. But we're gonna put a little salt and pepper in it, so you can start adding your flavor. Looks good. It looks good. Usually when I make my seafood pasta, this is just a shrimp pasta, but when I do my seafood pasta on my truck, I used to have like chicken, sausage, shrimp. Sometimes we put crab meat in there. It'd be like really, really good. But this is just a quick dish to go with your po' boy tonight. And we'll get started on our po' boys as soon as we get done with our sauce, because I need put our grill down. And make sure you flavor it to your taste. I'm really big on that, because a lot of people don't like a lot of flavor, so I don't want to tell you put this much on there, put that much on there. Just flavor it to how you like it. Cooking made simple. Alright, so we already strained our pasta. We got our grill going for our po' boys. Our pasta's over here. Our sauce is ready to add our cheese. This is our Parmesan. It's like a shredded Parmesan cheese. And you just sprinkle some in there. I would say about 1 cup. Yeah, because it's only like 2 of them in here. 1 cup will be good. And it's gonna get like stringy and ooey and gooey. But if it gets too thick, you can always put some more heavy whipping cream in there. And we're gonna put some mozzarella cheese in there. I like the creamy milk because I like everything creamy. It just tastes a lot better. And this has, I don't know, maybe 4 cups in there. So we use half of it, so 2 cups. Let's just say 2 cups. Now turn your fire down low, because I'm gonna have to add some more milk over it because it's creamy. But I want it to be able to stay creamy, but melt the cheese and be gooey. So our cheese sauce and everything is all together, melted and ready to go. So we're gonna add our pasta in there. Fold it all in. And remember, your pasta is gonna soak up a lot of your juice. So you wanna keep it as, it looks so good. Like, you see how great this looks? Put a little bit more of our fresh parsley on there. Give a little color. And this is done, guys. And I don't think this took no longer than to boil the spaghetti. So, like 10 minutes, maybe. Alright, so I have this fancy cheese here. This shaved Parmesan garlic. So we're just gonna put it on the top. Let it just kind of soak up and melt. It is raining up a storm. Happy spring break. It seemed like ever since I was a kid, all of our spring breaks, it was always raining. It is like cutting up out there tonight, guys. Alright guys, so we're gonna work on our po' boys. I always put butter on my French bread before I start working on my po' boy. I will fry the shrimp because they don't take that long. I'm not at my truck, so I don't have my big old grill, so we're just gonna work with this. Put some butter, throw that over there. I love butter, butter, butter. When you're using these grills, if you haven't used it before, it usually takes about 5 to 10 minutes for it to get hot, and I had to use 2 of my burners. So it kind of depends on your stove, and I have an electric stove here, so it depends on what you got going on. Alright, so got extra bread. Extra bread, extra bread. So I got my shrimp here. So we're gonna put our shrimp into the batter, season it up, and throw it in there. Cause they don't take that long. And if you know me, you know I like all my stuff hot and fresh. So I don't like my fried food sitting out. So just get it going. Sometimes I mix it with buttermilk and eggs when I fry it, but I'm not this time for the simple fact that I don't like my shrimp on my po' boys hard. I don't like it to be crunchy like that. Just enough to cook it, and when I bite in it, you get a slight crunch, but not a real hard crunch in your bite. So it's different when I'm dipping it in a sauce versus when it's on my sandwich. Alright, so let's start dropping our shrimp, guys. I don't like our video with Chef DJ Antonio last week. It was really cool to have somebody else in the kitchen. My goal is to start having different people from our community come out and cook with me. And not only just cook, but kind of share with everybody about their background and what they do in our community and how they help make our community better. Like, I like to have a lot of different people. I wanted to do food trucks, but I guess since the COVID, it's just kind of hard for people, and I understand too. But to have different people that I actually know come in and we talk about what they do and their passion for food. Because I feel like my food is my power. Alright guys, look at our shrimp. Look how goldenly brown they are. Shrimp doesn't take that long, so don't overcook them. They're so goldenly brown. So let's build our sandwich. Alright, so we're about to make our sandwich real quick and get to eating. See what we got here. I like to use real mayo, mayonnaise. It's the best. Whatever you have works. The only difference I think with my po' boy is I don't like to put pickles on my po' boy. I don't know. Everybody's different. Pickles are not quite my thing. So I have some shredded lettuce. Let's go ahead and get that on here. Ooh, making a mess. Alright, and I cut you some tomatoes. Po' boys are not the same without tomatoes, so make sure you have like the best ones. Not too soft and not too hard, so right in the middle. Pull some of this lettuce down because it's kind of making a mess. Alright, so then pout on the shrimp. Like, pout them up. Don't be scared to add the shrimp. Alright, so we got our lettuce. well, first we have our mayo, and then we have our lettuce, we have our tomatoes, and then we have our shrimp on the top. So now I'm gonna put our Kinley sauce on top of it. And yes, it has a lot of shrimp on it. It's like, what's the sense of having a po' boy if you only have like a couple of shrimp? So don't be afraid to put shrimp on it. And then we have our Kinley sauce. When we squirt it all over. Alright guys, look at this sandwich. I had to cut it in half because there's no way I could eat all that. But it looks super amazing. And then look at your pasta. It smells amazing. You got your shrimp, you got your mise en place, which you got tomatoes, you got onions, you got red peppers, you got fresh parsley in there, Parmesan cheese, mozzarella cheese. Like, this is like my definition of the Bayou. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Hit that red notification button. That way you will get notification when our new episodes come out on Sundays. And also, thank you for coming out with me and cooking with me and exploring new ingredients and flavors and tastes. And always remember, you don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great. Have a blessed one.